I want to get this green pocket in there, but all that HVAC stuff is in the way. So I'm going to try and combine these two panels. Let's see if we can make it happen. So I want that net, but I have rear HVAC, which requires some duct work. So on the bottom is the 7-seater with a few upgrades, and up top is the 5-seater with the net. I really want the net. But the 7-seater has an extra mounting bracket to make this a little more rigid, has these audio controls. I want to put those up there. Also has this power outlet. So in order to get this power port into this 5-seater panel, I just have to pull this cover. The same is true for these audio controls. To get them onto the 5-seater, I just pull this out. So next, let's talk about this deep pocket, because I want the cargo upgrade, but I can't afford the full depth. Let's see what we can do about that. So this is the plan. It's an experiment. I've never done this before. But the main idea is, first I'm going to cut just inside here, the plastic itself. I'm going to leave a lip. When I cut that out, when I cut this out, it's going to be inside here. See how the mark's inside? So see that? So I'm going to cut the back of that pocket out so I can still use the cargo netting. But I need a new backing plate. So then this thing is held on with these plastic rivets, you see? I already popped a few of them off. So I'm going to pop off all dozen of those. And the whole idea is to take this flat panel and put it behind that cutout. On the left is the 7-seater, and on the right is the 5-seater. Okay, we got a little bit of something to know about, something to be cautious of. See this HVAC plumbing in here? We've got a blower motor, some coolant pipes, some duct work. Well, take a look at that white rectangle. It mates up to this white rectangle here. So the thing is, the panel that's installed in this truck originally, it's got HVAC ductwork attached to it, and it mates up there to direct the air through these vents. So how this heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system works is the blower pushes the air through the ductwork and out that far white rectangle. It goes into this part white rectangle, and this ductwork is attached to the panel. It's so it can blow forward and back using this vent. So if we're thinking about putting a cargo net there with a big pocket, it's not going to fit. We've got to do some modifications. This pocket is kind of plastic welded on. They're kind of like rivets. They're one-time use. And you can see they break pretty easily. So you'd have to drill them out and put real rivets on, which is fine, and that can always be a backup plan if I can't get this to work. But what I'm going to do is try to remove this panel with the ductwork attached to it, and I'm going to cut this one off so I can retain the net, and I'll use this smaller panel incorporated here. Cut pocket lip uniformly. Test fit and adjust if necessary.
That's my guiding lines.
Okay, I'm going to cut on the far side of the tape over here, and I'm going to try not to cut into the tape, just beyond it. I don't need to plunge the blade very deep, just get it through. I'm going to use the highest speed setting. Well, it's a little jagged. Seems to be doing the job. One important thing about using tools is to see how comfortable your biomechanics move in the orientation of the workpiece, the orientation of the tools movement, and your posture. You know, this would be awkward. So I tried to flip the piece around, get right up here, and you saw me also steadying the workpiece with this hand while using both hands to guide the tool. You want to move in a well thought out pathway to make a good clean cut. Let's try and make a good clean cut. I started to deviate from that line. I'm too far that way, which is a shame. But I just kept going with it so at least it would be smooth and tapered rather than have a big jaggy edge. But yeah, I got off my mark a little. I just had to go with the flow. Okay, almost done. Now there's some places where I didn't cut all the way through, and so I'm gonna just go around once more time really carefully. Huh. Okay, well, I'll at least have a pocket that is this deep. Hopefully this fits. I might trim this with some of that auto detail edge trim. I'll rip that pocket off next. I flipped the workpiece back over just because for these final pieces I don't want any funny tears. I might as well take the time and run the blade through it one final time. And I can clean up this edge. The plastic melts when it gets the cutting tool run through it, creates a lot of friction and heat, that road reaction. So I'll clean all this edge up, and let's go test fit it in the car. Now look, I didn't want this to happen. See how this bucket has come off of here? I got to be really careful that no more of these plastic welds come undone. That's kind of where the integrity of the panel comes from. So I'm trying to handle it carefully. It's too bad that these broke, but this pocket gets suspended all along here. Okay, let's test fit it. I kept it kind of deep at first. Well, as deep as I thought there may be room for, I guess is how to put it. Got some interference already. So it looks like this electrical plug. Yeah, it looks like this electrical plug is in the way. Wonder if I can have it coming into the pocket. And this corner too. So, what about, oh, up here? No. That's the stereo wiring. Huh. Close. I need to trim. Okay, I was able to get that. This electrical connector seemed to be the problem, and I was trying to push the panel that way, but I actually found that as it sits in, there's a concavity here. and it perfectly contains that electrical panel. Now, I've slid all these pieces in up here, and you can watch it through here. You can see here's the top of the edge that I cut. Can you see that? Here's the edge that I cut. And you can tell that there's room. There's still going to be space. So it's going to fit just as is. I don't think I have to trim anything else. My learning was to just make it biased that way, just ever so slightly to clear that electrical plug. So I think whatever distance I cut was about perfect. Now, I'll get a lot more road noise in the cabin without the panel here. So that's why I had the idea to save the other piece and see if I can maybe one day try to get this blend door to line up, but that's going to be pretty tricky. Right now, I'm happy to just take the thing apart and save just the lower panel from the original. Maybe I'll do something with it one day. So we'll see if we can fit the backing plate from that other panel in here. It might be tricky with the vents. Okay, now we can see them side by side. See this vent work? See how some air is pushed that way and some is pushed here? That's from this duct. And this duct, it's shaped like a boot that fits exactly into this space here. So I think it'd be a lot more trimming to get this ductwork in there, but I'm still gonna pop this piece out and use it maybe later. Okay, let's see if we can pop this thing apart. Pretty easy. Now this one I want to be careful of because I want to keep the ductwork attached to the panel. You can see we're just separating this facing panel here. And one cool thing is, as long as this and this stay secure and this one is all that separates, that sandwiches the middle rib. So I think this will be reusable potentially with a bit more fab work. In case this does break off, I've traced exactly where it was. Of course those standoffs would tell you, but still. Okay, so pop, 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 pop. This one I'm going to try to twist a little. Or maybe just keep popping straight down. I want to keep that. Wow, good thing I'm wearing safety glasses. Okay, 2 more. 1 more and it's free. Don't get greedy. Don't want to distort or break it at the end. Okay, there we go. So you can kind of see why this isn't. I mean, look, I could drill this and rivet this on. Maybe I will end up doing something to combine these in the future. But you can see they're kind of yeah, plastic welded through here. A couple of different layers. One of the first things I wanted to try was just seeing if this would fit behind the whole thing. So could we put this in place as if it was there and put this right over the top? You better be careful. Look, I'm marking this all up. You always gotta be careful with your headliner. But see, this is kind of my ultimate idea. Some way to blend it like that. But I'll need to, maybe I'll cut an exacting notch into this panel that matches this lip. But yeah, that's what I want to get to eventually. I don't think I can force it with the current setup, but I'll try. Okay, so to line this duct, I gotta line this duct port with this duct, and I'm gonna do that with this foot. So under this trim, there's a little tab. I just put that right in there. So now as the assembly slides into place, I know that it's indexed at the right spot. There we go. Want that to, there we go. Perfect. Now just push this on in. It slides right in. That's going to be perfect. That's looking pretty good. I just got to pop it in and screw it down. But before I discard this, I'm going to get some of these clips in case I ever need them. Here's how they work, in case you're wondering. There's a plastic tab and a slot, and the metal goes against both. So you can see how it expands past these pieces, and then they hold it in place. But yeah, I'm going to grab a few of these clips, just have on hand. Okay, let's swap out these couple blanks for these accessories. So here it was blanked out, but we're adding the stereo controls. There's a wiring connector just under here. Got it. And on this one, this was a blank here, but we're putting the power on here. So let's put this in. These kind of rotate to lock into place. Okay, plug it in. Okay, now we can snap everything in and the blanking plates can be thrown away. Well, so far this is my biggest regret. Irreversible damage to the headliner. I mean, it's so minor. I guess that's my point. This is something that you should watch for and be careful of, but even if it gets a few scratches, that's not a big deal. Okay, we got those things wired up, and I'm just pushing this in. I guided it very slowly. You can see that clip right there. Goes in last. Got these other two clips in. Do the floor here. It's all very snug. Last thing to secure is that side. Okay, I've pulled the weather stripping off so I can get a nice look into here. This lines up with that. This one lines up there. Oops, and this one fell. So this also has to go under this piece of trim down here. I did that first. So we're a bit out of alignment here. Let's see if we can just... Yeah, that's starting to come towards where it goes. You can see that goes there. That's where it goes. This one's lined up. So I think it's time for a classic kind of pop. Okay, that's all. That's it. Oh, no, we'll get popped out. We'll have to get the screw in. Okay, while I hold the pressure this way, I'm just going to get this started. Goes right in here. There's a bit of extra outward pressure since I have two panels in here now. So this fastener will hold that tight. Okay, good. I feel it sucking down. Everything looks good around there. Oh, that side popped out. We'll have to look at that. Okay, nice. Now this goes here. Okay, finishing touches. On this side, we just put the weather stripping right back on. Oh, it got tucked under here. Needs to be over. There we go. Okay, that backside's secured with the two fasteners. I wish there was a screw on this side because I have introduced a bit of outward pressure. Before I can get all these to hold, which I've already broken this one, you can see. I'll get a new one. But I have to remember that this tailgate cable needs to come out. That was part of the reason it was not shutting. So if I had this out earlier, it would have been better. Just go like that for now. And now let's just try to line these up. I think I lost the bottom one. Can I get this one in? Yeah, that's in. That would be in. Alright. Oops. Well, we'll see how it holds. I might need to we'll see. Pretty good. It's pretty tight on that wiring connector. But other than that, it looks pretty cool. Oh, let's put this on. Then you'll never know. Look at that. Whether it's stripped in place, you can't even tell. It's perfect. Okay, last thing I need to do is put this tailgate cable on. Just pops on like that, and this fastener, or this thing comes down. Okay, there's all kinds of HVAC in here, and it's usually not possible to have cargo net, but I've included the HVAC panel behind it. So that ductwork is still present. It's on this second panel. It's still attached to it. So here's the cut I made, and the duct is still lined up there, and that's where it branches. Some air is pushed through this vent down, and other air is pushed up through that upper vent. So this is maybe the first time we've had cargo nets and AC vents. Still room for your trailer hitch. So you can see the length of the white arrows, about how deep this pocket is now. Just ended up cutting this lip here. About that. As long as that white arrow all the way back. That's where I cut the pocket out. Ta-da! So that cargo trim needed a trim. You can find more Land Rover videos on the Slime Corp YouTube channel. And now, what are we going to do with that net? Well, I could put this kit in there, first aid maybe, and a little survival bag. Still works with my cargo slider. Takes advantage of some unused space. You know what? You could put all kinds of stuff in here. Like, what about a net? Let's put a net in the net.